My name is Irina Kordich, and I'm the managing partner of Murphy Battista, LLP, which is a boutique litigation law firm in Vancouver, and we specialize in various injury claims and class actions. We represent people from all walks of life in a variety of different claims, such as slip and falls, bodily injury from assaults, professional negligence, sex assault, and of course, class actions of varying kinds. That's a very good question. That's sort of easier to answer now that we're out of COVID. It was actually COVID, I think, that led us to understand how much IT support we were lacking. We had also experienced a period of growth, and we have a lot more staff than we used to. We're a firm of about 100 right now, and we definitely needed strong IT support to help us through the COVID period where everybody was working from home, and also to help us plan out a whole bunch of different projects that are going to make our business more successful. You know, time and trust. Trust has really developed over time. Kieran Networks has made a great deal of difference for us. We have a lot less complaints from our staff about any IT glitches or problems, but we also have seen a lot of more efficiencies in terms of a variety of different tasks as well. Kieran Networks offers really good advice on a variety of different solutions. So since we may experience further growth, I want to make sure that whatever we are signing up for is something that's scalable. So Kieran Networks offers support on a per user basis, and also all the solutions that they offer for our IT needs, such as software or really anything that we need, is also based on a per user cost and is adapted to what we need it to be. It has become very obvious, and it's been in the media so much recently that cybercrime is on the rise, and it has become prevalent, and all sorts of companies are hit. Many law firms have been hit. Very big companies in the States have been hit. It's everywhere. So security of our data is paramount to us because we deal with a lot of very sensitive and private information as lawyers. And Kieran Networks has worked very hard, and I trust them completely to provide us with the best possible solutions that are the industry standard or above. So I'm very happy with what they have implemented for us, and makes me sleep a lot better at night. Kieran Networks meets with me once every quarter to go over a variety of, what has gone on in the previous quarter and to plan ahead. And those meetings are very valuable to us because they help us understand what the problems have been in the past, how they have been resolved or how they need to be resolved in the future. And it also helps a lot with planning. I find that forward thinking and planning is key to success in any kind of a business. And from the IT perspective, it's very important to have the infrastructure to support any kind of growth or expansion or change. And Kieran Networks has delivered on all of those. One of the things that I have always struggled with is actually understanding all the terminology around the IT world. And myself being a lawyer, I know nothing. I use a lot of very big words, but I know none of the words that are used in the IT world. So the guys at Kieran Networks have been excellent in providing sort of layman's terms for me to understand what we're actually doing and what needs to be done. And it's not only that they're able to explain things, but they're very effective communicators and they're very friendly people. So the communication style overall has been great. I would describe Kieran as quite exceptional. Over the years, I have worked with a number of different companies who were providing IT services, and I have found Kieran Networks to truly be exceptional. The team is very dedicated to excellence, and they are very geared towards customer service. They go well beyond what is expected to make sure that we are a satisfied customer, and I very much appreciate that. I do that for my clients, and it's always nice to have that to be done for me when I'm somebody else's client. There was a lot of ad hoc and piecemeal IT that was happening, and the firm was going through a process of growth. So what we had in place was simply not enough to support 100 people. We had expanded from maybe 20 to 100 in a relatively short time period, and we needed a lot more support than could be afforded by what we had in place. We were also looking for someone to have sort of a centralized tracking system for all the tickets so that we can understand what problems were, not just one user, but what more users were having, so that we could address the global kind of issue that would help solve problems for many. So Kira Networks is great because they have a ticketing system that's centralized, and that really helps, I think, in terms of finding the right solutions for many. I have done onboarding experiences, not with IT companies per se, but with a variety of software. And whenever you introduce something new into a climate that's not very open to change, and let's face it, law firms are very traditional, and people are very invested in what they know, as opposed to what new things they can learn. So the onboarding experience was actually really good. It was done quite smoothly, I thought, and the team at Kira Networks made it so that they were very approachable. They made sure to outline to everybody what the new procedure was for the ticketing system, to make sure that everybody knows how to reach them, and to make sure that everybody felt comfortable with embarking on a new adventure. Sleep better at night, that's for one thing. Going back to my answer on the security of data, I think that we are still exploring growth opportunities, and that's something that Kieran is also providing us some comfort with, because all of the services that they offer are scalable, and they're also able to offer planning services in terms of future growth. So I feel very happy with what they're able to offer in terms of a changing climate. I think that pretty much any type of business needs IT support, and I wouldn't hesitate to recommend Kira Networks to any business owner. I think law firms in particular can use a lot of IT support, and I definitely would not hesitate to recommend Kira Networks to any of my competitors even. The fact that now my staff is a lot more used to having one way to do things. Before Kieran, we did not have anything that was uniform or centralized, and there was a lot of things that people were doing on their own that were just different than what their neighbor, sitting in the next cubicle over was doing, and that's not a really efficient way to run things. So now that we have everything more integrated, everything has turned out to be much more efficient, and it also leads to a lot more employee satisfaction because they're not dealing with issues on their own, and they know that they're being looked after. During the COVID-19 pandemic, for almost the first year, we had almost no staff in the office. Everybody was operating remotely. And so IT support during that time was crucial. Our business wasn't impacted as much as many others were, but the courts were closed for 3 months initially, and that kind of put things on a standstill. However, during that time, we were able to focus more on what do we actually need to make this work if we're going to have to be working remotely for a more extended period of time, which turned to be a really good planning strategy because we are still working remotely to a significant degree. Our staff are now maybe 50-50 split between being in the office and working remotely. So the planning for the IT infrastructure and support has been crucial to support that and to make sure that the business continues to run. They took the time to really get to know what we do. And I feel like at every meeting they will ask questions regarding further clarification of what the needs are. While they may not understand what legal concepts we're dealing with, they understand fully what our client base is, what the needs of our users are, our staff, what programs we use, and why we need them to work in a certain way, because everything needs to be highly customized and adaptable to a variety of different situations. So that has been very good and helpful. I would say that it's both. I think that it's certainly helped in the short term a great deal, but I'm hopeful that it's going to be part of the long term strategy as well. I'm currently in the process of planning for the next 3 to 5 years, and the Kira Network guys have been excellent in supporting me through that and offering me their expertise and opinions that are very well researched in terms of specific needs that we have. That's always a very funny question. Sometimes I feel that my issues get addressed a lot faster than someone else's, perhaps. But I have to say that overall, the speed of resolution of tickets has actually, I guess I should say, decreased because tickets get resolved faster. I feel like this might be a function of Kira Networks learning our users and learning our business and learning more about all the different software and pieces that we have in place. So the speed of resolution has certainly increased over the number of months. That initially might have been greater, but as time went on, the response time has been a lot faster. And everybody's quite happy with how quickly they got an answer. Yeah, I think that that's been very clear. When we initially onboarded, there were a lot of email blasts about contact information. We also have the Kira Assist application on all of our desktops, and I think everybody by now knows which email to use when they have a problem. So we certainly bug the Kira Network guys as much as we possibly can via any means of contact, be it the phone, email, or the app. I get great value out of these meetings because these guys have now become my trusted advisors in terms of very important business decisions. The IT infrastructure, excuse me, to support this many people and a changing business model is very expensive, and it's very important to make the right decisions at the right time. So the quarterly meetings are very valuable because I can get some advice on where am I going next, from simple things like which printer should I get to be able to print, maybe 3,000 pages in an afternoon, to how many servers do we have to replace? Can we go on the cloud? What's compatible with what? And how much is it all going to cost? And what's better? And, should we not cheap out on this? And should we go do a big spend on that, and why? It's a very, very valuable advice that I don't think that I could get elsewhere, and I certainly haven't had previous experiences like that with IT companies, where they definitely take the time every quarter to review everything retrospectively, but to also look at prospective projects. And I have to say that the projects that we have had with Kieran have also been very successful. They have been planned out and executed very well. And even when the project time has come to an end, we have received additional support to ensure that our projects are supported and implemented very, very well and successfully.